So there's a rumor going around that Yamaha is coming out with an R9. This is all because Yamaha patented the name R9 back in 2021 along with like the R2, R4, R5, R7, and R8. But I guess the R2 and the R9 were patented at the same time as the R7. If Yamaha does come out with the R9, that thing's gonna be pretty fucking sick. If you've ever ridden the MT-09 or FZ-09, you already know that bike is a torque monster. At 847 cc's, the Yamaha R9 should have 64 foot-pounds of torque at 8,500 RPM. Compare that to the R6 that has 47 foot-pounds of torque at 10,500 RPM. More torque earlier in the power band. The R9 should have 115 horsepower at 10,000 RPM compared to the R6 that has 123 horsepower at 14,500 RPM. So just a hair less horsepower that comes on a lot earlier in the power band. 847 cc's versus the R6's 599 cc's. That means it's not going to be super sport legal, and it's going to be a single overhead cam motor versus the R6's dual overhead cam motor. What they're going to need to get right with the R9 is geometry and weight. I don't think that's going to be an issue for Yamaha. The R6 has pretty much had the same geometry and weight since 2006. They made a slight tweak with the 2009 R6, and that's what really led them to all those super sport wins. Yamaha perfected the formula with the R6, and the only reason we can't get our hands on it right now is because of Euro 5 emissions, which the MT-09 is still being produced. Comparing the R6 and the MT-09's gear ratios, I don't think this is going to be hard to get right either. Both sequential wet clutch chain driven transmission with slight changes in gearing in all the gears except for second gear. This next part is what really piques my interest. It's the frame. The R6 uses the aluminum Delta box, the same frame from the 2006 and up. The MT-09 uses a completely different frame. They call it the diamond frame. I think it's going to be interesting if they try to fit the MT-09 motor into the Delta box frame. I mean, they're still producing the R6, we just can't get our hands on it for the street. That means they still have the frames available. If they develop the Yamaha R9, it's going to be super interesting, and I'm very curious to see what they come up with. I'm not entirely sure they're going to use the Delta box frame for the R9, but if they do, the R9 is going to be the true successor to the Yamaha R6. Let me know your thoughts though. I'm really anxious to get into that comment section with you guys.